What's going on, guys? Aggronix here, and welcome back to week 9 in the ElysianUCL. We're jumping to our team prep against Bloom, coach of the Philadelphia Flygons. Now, his team is very, very powerful. Actually, I can whip it up for you right here. Let me just scroll down a little bit. Go down, 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 down. Gucci. So he's down here. His team is very, very powerful. He's Garchomp. He has Togekiss. Just so you can see it on the screen right here, so you can visualize it. Actually, let me just scroll down one more. There's his team. So we have Garchomp, Togekiss, Jellicent, Entei, Zapdos, Hitmontop, Alakazam, Mawile, Delphox, and Meowstic male, and led by their Mega Venusaur. Mega freaking Venusaur. So he obviously has a very, very powerful team. Entei, huge wall breaker in the format, so is Garchomp. A good defensive core, Mega Venusaur and Jellicent. Zapdos can be both. Garchomp also can be both. Togekiss can also, surprisingly enough, can be both. Nasty plot and stuff can be scary, but also can be defensive with Wish and stuff. So he's a very, very powerful team, and then he has a lot of lower tier threats. Hitmontop is a very, very annoying rapid spinner. Alakazam is obviously Alakazam. Delphox is very, very good. Mawile's a great rock setter. Meowstic, I don't see him coming. You know, I don't think Meowstic's great, but you know what? He's a good prankster to have, and every team is. It's nice to have a prankster. So, after my voice break, we're going to talk about what I'm bringing. So, I'm going to start this. Whoops, that's YouTube. I'm going to start this by saying that I team built on my own this week. Completely on my own. I got a little bit of advice after I built the team on what I should do with certain this and this and that. But I built this entire team on my own. And I didn't have Kraft help me because last week we lost to Joey. And I'm not blaming Kraft in any way. But I really, really wish I had a certain move, and I was talking to Kraft about it, and Kraft said no, you know. But I feel like in certain situations, I think I know what's going to happen better. You know, I feel like it's gonna come down to the wire in this match. And I knew Joy was going to trash me, and that's what happened. Because if I only had carried Aquatail and Aggron. But we're going to jump into it. I'm going to start off by saying what I think he's going to lead with. Now, I mean, what he's going to lead with. What he's going to bring. So, every week, you have an idea what your opponent's going to bring. You know, they're going to bring their Mega usually. You know, most teams do bring their Mega. I think I've brought Mega Aggron every match, which is really awesome. You know, they also have their offensive core, their defensive core. Every Mon has their team pretty much laid out for you. That you think they're gonna like. Okay, so against him, this is how I team built. I built this team, which is Mega Aggron, Milotic, Sylveon, Heliolisk, Muk, and Dragonite. I built this team off the assumption of what he's gonna bring, and then if he brings something else, I can deal with it. So, okay, let's start with Garchomp. Garchomp is a maybe. It's a big maybe because yes, I can deal with it. But he doesn't really do a lot to me. He can beat Dragonite in certain situations if my multi-scale is broken. I have Ice Beam there, which one-shots every single time. He beats Heliolisk and Muk on my team, but that's really all he beats. Even Aggron beats him. So I don't really see Garchomp coming. And not only that, Garchomp doesn't beat Superior a lot of the times. It doesn't outspeed Superior to be a threat to it. It doesn't outspeed his Heliolisk. I don't think the Garchomp's coming. It could, very, very well could, Choice Scarfed. But I'm not too scared about Togekiss. I think will come, even though I can deal with it with Aggron. Jellicent is a big maybe. Most teams, I'm very, very aware that their water type is scary. And, you know, with Sorsen, I predicted Sweet couldn't come. Never brought it, because Heliolisk and Superior is there. Last week, against Joey, I predicted Slowbro to come. Didn't bring it, because Heliolisk and Superior is there. This week, I don't think Jellicent is going to come. But again, if he brings it, I'm fine. Entei, I think he's coming for sure. Zapdos, I think he's coming for sure. Hitmontop is a maybe. Alakazam is almost for sure. It's either Mawile or Garchomp. He needs a rock setter, and I think it's one of them. Garchomp is sometimes better, but Mawile isn't weak to as many things, and it can hit Sylveon, which he might want to bring. Delphox, I don't really see it coming, and if he does, you know, Heliolisk will be able to beat it, I think. Meowstic, no, and Mega Venusaur, yes. So I think what he's going to bring, I think he's going to bring Togekiss, Entei, Zapdos, Alakazam, Mawile or Garchomp, and Venusaur. So, my team, Aggron, we're going to start with Aggron. We're running max HP, max special defense, and an impish nature with 4 in defense. Now, I know this looks very, very standard, but trust me, this was the best thing I could do for this match. Standard isn't always bad. Standard is actually really, really good in this match. It's able to beat certain things. It only takes, if he's a Choice Bandit, Entei only does about 50% with Sacred Fire, which is pretty good. If he gets the burn, it's annoying, but we can still Toxic him and rest, hopefully. Heavy Slam's there for the Togekiss and stuff. Rest Sleep Talk is very, very interesting. With Rest Sleep Talk, we actually beat Jellicent with Aggron because, surprisingly enough, Scald and Shadow Ball only do like 25% max. If he burns us and goes for Hex, that's fine. We have ways to deal with that, but we can still Toxic him, we can still rest on him, we can still dwindle him down, and I think that's really good. We can still Toxic the Zapdos, we can Toxic the Hitmontop, we can hit the Alakazam, we can live one Focus Blast if he's Focus Sash. If he's Life Orb, we do die to one Focus Blast. Mawile we beat every single time. Delphox, again, we can live one Fire Blast. If he's Choice Specs, I don't think we live, but if he's not, if he's Life Orb, I think we might live. Mega Meowstic, not really worried about it. Mega Venusaur is the only thing on this team that Aggron really, really doesn't want to deal with it at all. Aggron cannot touch Venusaur, which is why our whole team is really, really weak to Venusaur, you know, Superior. The only thing that's really, really beats it is Xatu, but Xatu still takes too much from Sludge Bomb for me to bring it, which is unfortunate. Hopefully Venomoth and Xatu will come later in the season. We move on to Milotic. Milotic, our beautiful, beautiful Ariel, coming back once again. We didn't use her last week because there were too many things, but you know what? I really, really want to use it again. Leftover Skulls, Mirror Coat, Ice Beam, and Recover. Marvel Scale with max HP, almost max HP, 232 in HP, 252 in defense, and 24 in speed. With that speed, we're able to outspeed a Venusaur. Even if you run speed into it, I want to be able to outspeed that Venusaur. Mirror Coat is there for the Zapdos, the Togekiss. The Jealous. He's a very, very specially offensive team. Even Entei and Garchomp, they can both run special. So he's a very, very specially offensive team. We can eat a Energy Ball from Alakazam if he's not Life Orb again, the same as Aggron. Miracle is there to beat the Venusaur though. So Venusaur does about 48%, let's say, usually, on average, if he's defensive with Giga Drain to Milotic. Mirror if he does that, does about 90%, and then hopefully we'll outspeed with Scald and kill him. I don't want to reveal Mirror too fast. I want to be able to, you know, put him in a false sense of security and then whip out the Mirror and kill him, hopefully. Hopefully he's at like 78% when I use it. As in the Venusaur is 78%. Next we're bringing Sylveon, Hyper Voice, Protect, Wish, and Calm Mind. Now, I really like this set. Hyper Voice doesn't hit a lot of things on his team. Hits the Garchomp, Togekiss, Jellicent, doesn't hit Entei, hits Zapdos, hits Hitmontop, Alakazam, doesn't hit Mawile, doesn't hit Delphox, hits Meowstic, and it doesn't hit Venusaur. So he doesn't hit 4 things on his team. Out of that 4, I think he's only bringing 2 of those, maybe 3. But on max, I only don't touch half of his team. And one of those things, Mega Venusaur, we can Calm Mind on. Actually, 2 of them, Delphox. We can Calm Mind on 2 of those. So even the Entei, if he's special, I don't really see it being special, but he could. If we get up 2 Calm Minds, Venusaur only does 30% max, well 30% usually, with Sludge Bomb, while Hyper Voice does about that at +2 attack. If we get to +6, we're wrecking his team. The only thing that beats it is Garchomp with Poison Jab possibly, Entei, obviously if he's offensive, and Mawile. Mawile if he outspeeds this and goes for Iron Head. But we have, we don't actually outspeed the Mawile. I'm pretty sure Mawile's base speed is actually 60 as well, or 50. I'm not too worried about it. We have Aggron there. So hopefully this winner will. Also, I wanted to bring Protect because Aggron has Toxic. That'd be very, very nice if we can just dwindle some things down. Toxic it with 1 mon and then Protect with another is really, really nice. Next we have Espio, Healerlisk, Choice Specs with Dry Skin, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Hidden Power, Ice, and Hyper Voice. Now, we're running enough speed to outspeed a max speed Delphox, I believe. Yes, we are. Everything else on his team, we outspeed everything on his team except for the Alakazam and a Choice Scarfer. That's the only things on his team that outspeeds Healerlisk, which is really, really nice. Alakazam is a problem, but I'm not too worried about it because we have Shadow Sneak on this thing and we have, you know, her Extreme Speed on this thing. Sorry, I'm burping. Choice Specs, Rex. We hit virtually everything on his team with a Thunderbolt, minus the Garchomp and the Venusaur, and we both have things for that. If my item gets knocked off, which I don't think it will be because he doesn't actually... Does he actually not have a knockoff user? Wow, he doesn't. Does Mawile get knockoff? I feel like Mawile gets knockoff, but even then, I'm not too worried about it. He doesn't have any knockoff users, so I'm basically going to have Choice Specs the whole game. I feel like this is going to be very, very important. Whether I lead with it, I'm not sure. We'll have to check a team preview, but we'll figure out what we lead with a team preview. Healerlisk is definitely an option, though. Obviously, it was the Jellicent. It beats the Togekiss, even if it wants to Thunder Wave. It outspeeds the Entei, unless he's Choice Scarf, which outspeeds the Zapdos if he's not Choice Scarf. It will die to a Mach Punch from him on top, but I'm not too worried about it. Alakazam, it doesn't beat at all. It beats the Mawile a little bit. We can Thunderbolt and do a lot of damage. Delphox, we don't beat too much. But I still think it does a lot. It just hits things, you know. It just hits things really, really hard. Nothing really wants to swap in. Even the Venusaur doesn't want to swap in on Choice Specs Thunderbolt. It's still gonna do like 30%, which is pretty nice. Next we have Muck, Assault Vested once again, Poison Touch with Shadow Sneak, Gong Shot, Flamethrower, and Ice Punch. Now this thing is made to counter, obviously, the Venusaur. There's not a lot of things on my team that want to deal with Venusaur. Again, like I said, is Xatu, kind of. Venomoth, I think I said with Quiver Dance. But I feel like Muck was the best one because nothing really wants to swap into a Gong Shot. And especially because I have Poison Touch, nothing wants to come in. The only thing that wants to come in is possibly the Jellicent and the Garchomp if it's defensive. Even the Garchomp. If the Garchomp is defensive, he'll eat it for days. But if he's not defensive, that's doing a lot of damage. Running Max Attack, 240 in special defense and 16 in speed to outspeed the Mawile. And possibly there wasn't one other Mon actually. I believe it was, no, maybe it was Mawile. I think it was Hitmontop. No, Hitmontop's like 70. Shadow Sneak is obviously there for the Alakazam, the Jellicent if it's close to death, even the Venusaur if it's close to death. Gong Shot is there to hit all of his team. Flamethrower is there for the Mawile. Now I'm really debating in my head, do I go with Flamethrower? Because Flamethrower actually does like 40 to 50% on the Mawile. Mawile isn't really touching Muck, even with Ironhead. Ironhead only does like 30% max. So I'm not too worried about the Mawile. But Fire Punch obviously does less because he's going to be defensive Mawile. Like, that's the only set you run. You only run defensive Mawile. And Flamethrower, because he's physically defensive all the time, will do a lot more than Fire Punch, especially because he has Intimidate. So I think I'm going to bring Flamethrower. The only thing that I'm wondering is, do I not run Assault Vest and do I run Rest instead? Because again, I don't have Heal Bell. So if Creep gets put to sleep or burned, actually put to sleep would be fine. But if he gets burned by the Jellicent or the Entei Sacred Fire, I'm in a bit of trouble. I have to be very careful with Muck and how I use him. But if I use him right, I think Muck can do a great job on this match. Yeah, an Ice Punch is obviously there for the Garchomp, the Togekiss, even though we always go for Gong Shot. I think that's, and the Zapdos, even though Gong Shot does more to Zapdos. But Ice Punch is really just there for the Garchomp. And finally, we move on to our backup killer for the Venusaur. Now, Dragonite's job, we're running once again special this week because I really like special Dragonite. I think it's very cool. So we're running Hurricane, Extreme Speed, Ice Beam, and Roost with leftovers. Running 120 in HP, 252 modest in special attack, running 104 in special defense and 32 in speed. Now we have enough speed to outspeed once again a Venusaur with speed investment, but not too much. We will outspeed it, hopefully. And a Hurricane does 77 to 91% if he's physically defensive Venusaur. If he's specially defensive, it still does a crap ton. He's not touching us with the left scale. Extreme Speed is there for the Alakazam because it does about 50%, and Shadow Sneak plus Extreme Speed does kill. Ice Beam is there for the Zapdos, the Togekiss, the Garchomp. It hits a lot of things on his team. I didn't really want to pass it up. And then Roost is just there for recovery. Now, funnily enough, nothing on his team really wants to take a Hurricane. Even the Mawile takes about 40%, which is crazy. Zapdos obviously doesn't mind taking Hurricanes, but we can Ice Beam it. And with the multi-scale, Hidden Barrier Ice, if he's Life Orb, only does like 50%. Bloom is just getting on there saying he's ready. So I'm really worried about this week. Once again, guys, winner take all in this match. It's winner stays in, loser drops out. I'm very worried, but I think we got this. I think the team is definitely on our side. The team advantage. We have better types in our side, and hopefully we can take a win this week. If you guys are a proud supporter of the Cork City Cradillys and you are voting for us in this match, make sure to hit some like button down below first. Battle will be going up in a few hours time. Until then, I'm going to go battle Bloom. I'll talk to you guys in a few hours. See ya! Bye!